tech newbies and gurus. Today we're gonna look at how to actually develop a simple sign in and login, and let's look at how it works. You see this one. So as you can see here, you can have the sign in here, and then you can have the login and others. Okay, so you can have other social media handlers. So this is a very simple UI to help you create the sign up and login with ease, with background, and also using hex code colors. So let's get started. So now I'm gonna create a project. I'm using the MacBook, so I'm gonna use Control P or Control P to start the project. But if you're in Windows, you can use the Control P. Okay, so when you let's actually give the name of the project we're about to do. Yeah, I leave this at the Apple or probably the desktop. Let me leave it here. Yes, okay. So I'll just leave it here, and then the name will be what? Let's give in this name as a login. Yeah, it's actually, let's say it's a login signing, but let's use login for the name. Okay, so I press enter. Okay, so it's gonna actually take a few seconds to a minute to actually, render all, and then bring all the codes good. So now, as we can see here, okay, so we actually have these files, and then we have these files and folders already. But to begin the project, what we'll do is we'll create another folder. Yeah, I'm gonna use an image, so I create an image folder. Okay, so image folder, but let me call it images. Okay, even though it might be only one image in it. Okay, then let's step into the pubspec.yaml. I'll be using some icons in the application, so let us add that to it. So Control P, I use the pubspec.assistant to add some dependency. So I'm actually gonna add dependency here, and this dependency will actually help me to help me use some icons. Yeah. So Control P, yes, and then let me use the pubspec.assistant. Okay, so I'll first add the Flutter icons to this. So Flutter icons. Okay, the icons here. Okay. Yeah, good. So that's added for me, this one. Okay, and the second one is I want to add the Cupertino icons as well, so that to also appear on Android very well, so on iOS rather. So Command P again, then I go for the dependencies. So Cupertino icons. Okay, yeah, Cupertino is not a UI for iPhone rendering. Yeah, and then the material that is basically targeting the Android. So this, okay, so I have included these two here in my pubspec.yaml. So make sure you also include this. You can actually do this manually by going beneath the dependencies, and then make sure you put this the space here should be two spacing ahead beneath the dependency, and you can also do the same for this. Okay, so anytime you are done with your pubspec.yaml, you need to save the file so that it actually pulls or get the package and add to your project. Okay, so nevertheless, oh, Lisa, I forgot. We need to actually uncomment the asset since we'll be using an image. So I have uncommented the asset, the asset itself, and then this. But don't forget, we'll be using an image in here. Let me This one is inside the lib. It's inside the lib. I want to move it to the root folder, so I have moved this to the root folder, and then I'm gonna drag and drop one image I'm gonna use in this project. So yeah, I'm gonna use this image in this project, and this will be a kind of a background image for the project. So I will leave the source code beneath, so you can also get the same image, or you can use the image of your preference. All right, good. Then let me go to the main. For in the lib, I'm gonna create a file, and first I'll create a folder, and then I'll create two files in it. So I'm gonna call those folders no, just one folder. Not I'll drag this out. Yeah, I'm gonna call it the screen. Yeah, screen. Simple. Make sure you drag this out of the lib. Yeah, I want it to, or I should leave it here. It's okay. Let me leave it here, and I add a file, and for the file I'm gonna add two files. One file will be called the sign in. I'm gonna call this what? Sign in underscore login. Okay. Perfect. Dot that. Okay, so I save this, and I'm gonna create another file in here. I'm gonna call this the colors. Let me call this colors. Okay, so I'm gonna use some hex code colors in the project. So that's that, and then I click enter. Good. So we have additional folder in here called the screen, and then we have two files in it called colors.dat and then sign in login. Okay, then I have the main here, and I have included the image. Don't forget, I stepped into the poopspec.yaml file and then included some dependencies here, the Cupertino icons and then the Flutter icon. I also uncommented the assets, and then I added the image. But for this image, let me change it. It's JPG background.jpg, so that it doesn't conflict. So background.jpg. Yeah, why am I using background.jpg? Because my image have the same name, that is background.jpg. So I refer that inside the poopspec.yaml. Okay, so first, before we even begin, let me start with the colors.dat. For the colors.dat, we're gonna actually have some colors in here, and this is actually gonna be something like the theme of our application. Okay, so first I'm gonna make use of this import package. So this will help us with the colors. So I'm gonna import this package for our project. So this is actually gonna help us, display the hex code. So this is painting.dat, and painting.dat simply means using hex colors in your project and all that. So let me first add this first before we actually begin. So I'm gonna call this class, I'm gonna call it colors. Okay, yeah, so this is gonna actually be used to design the colors of our project. So first I'll start with a static, and this static is gonna be constant. The colors are gonna be constant, so I use the constant keyword, and then I call the color property, and then I call icon color. Okay, icon color. So I'm gonna have several of this. in here. So this colors I'm gonna use what hex colors. Okay, so to use this hex colors, you can go to colorpicker.com to get all these what hex colors in your project. So the value here should be what the colors we want to use. These are the hex colors we're gonna use. So this colorpicker.com, and then you can pick color of your choice and then use it. Okay, so let me have this. I'm gonna have this here. This will be icon color, and this one will be active. When things are active, we should make use of this kind of color. So we said this one will be used for active part of the application, this color, and then we're gonna have the test color. So this color will also take care of our tests, all the tests, no, some tests. So we're gonna have test 2, and then we're gonna have this 1, 2. So we have color 1 for some tests, color 2 for another different offset color set. Then we're gonna have gonna use a Facebook icon here just for third-party integration. So I just want to format it in a nice way. So I'll have a Facebook color here that I'll apply later on in the code. Then next is I also want to add let's say I'll add a Google as well. Yeah, Google third-party integration, Google. So Google color. Then I'll add another one. But let me see, maybe I can use one of these ones, but I'll also add Instagram as a third-party login integration. So Instagram color. Okay, then the last one will be background color. Yes, so like I said, all this hex code you can get it on colorpicker.com, and then I have background. Okay, if you have any questions, you can leave below the video. Okay, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So all these colors are gonna be different colors, so we're gonna have this colors being different for each of them. So you need to make sure you choose your colors wisely so that it will actually look good after the application is done. So if you look here, you can see I'm actually adding the colors to each of the widgets by giving it a proper name. So as you can see, I have the icons. So all icons will take this color. Yeah, depending on where I want to apply it. Then I will have the active color and also the test color. Then I will have another test. So I'm gonna have 2 different colors for test. One will display in another color, and the other 2 will also display, and also have the Facebook integration. That will be the icon for the Facebook, and then have the Google, and then the Instagram. Good. So this should actually be static. Okay, so static, constant, and then color. Good. Now what we'll do next is to actually step into our main code. So let me save this. As I normally do, I always want to try to clean everything in here and then start afresh. So let's clean. We'll be making use of the flatter material, so I'm gonna actually leave that at the top. Okay, so let me leave this. Yeah, I leave this as well because we're gonna repeat this. Okay, so I clean this. I only leave the what? The use. We will use another what? Another class here instead of my app. Good, since we are customizing everything. So first, before I continue, even though we have not included anything inside our login.dat file, I'm still gonna import this. I'm gonna import our so let me go with the package. So package, and then for the package I will include what we call the sign-in. Yes, that is the file name. Sign-in dot what? Yeah, sign-in. Okay, and the sign-in underscore what? Underscore login. Okay, login. Then you make sure you bring the dot that here. Then I keep it like this, and then login. Yes, perfect. Good. So sign in, login. Perfect. Then here I want to create a stateless widget using the shortcut uh, STL, that is the stateless what widget. Okay, stateless widget. And for the stateless widget, our class name will be what? This one. Sign in, login. Yeah, the one I actually put here. Okay, sign in, login. Perfect. And stateless widget. Okay, and for our sign in login, we're gonna actually return the material up here instead of returning a container. So I go with the material. So material material app. Okay, good. And then inside our return, we actually gonna return just the title and then the actual what? Our extended screen. So I will have, since we don't want to show our debug on top of our screen, I'm simply gonna call the debug show check mode banner to false. Okay, good, to false. Okay, perfect. Then I will have title. Yeah, this will not appear on our screen, but it gives the title of our application. So title is simple login. Login UI. Good. Then we're gonna have our what? Home here. And this home will actually hold our class inside our sign in underscore login dot that. Okay, so I'm gonna call this let me use the same name here, sign in login, but here I'm gonna add screen to this so that it will differentiate what we have here. But this one is gonna be a class, so I need to actually put the round bracket here. Okay, so sign in login screen. Sign in login screen. So we have this constant. We don't need this. Sign in. Sign in login. Okay, sign in login. All right. So what we're gonna do is to actually save this. So let me close this. Yeah, let me close this, keep it simple. Okay, now we have the colors. uh, the colors. Okay, so I just want to see whether the colors are not repeating itself. So color 2. So color 2, yeah, let's use a different color for this, and then we're gonna have a different color for also this one. Yeah, this is repeating itself. So like I said, I'm picking this from the color picker site, so it's for hex colors. Okay, then let's watch here. Let's watch here. We're actually gonna start our main screen design or the UI design for our project, and for this we actually gonna use stateful widget as well here, because we're not gonna change states here in this because it's gonna be a simple one. So first, let me try to import our our package here, and this package will simply be our UI. Okay, um, the material dot that. Okay, then here we'll also import our icons. If you remember, I included that inside our postspec.yaml. So I'm gonna include packages here, and this package will simply be what our packages. Then this one will actually be our icons. Okay, so to call that, we call flutter first. Okay, sorry, flutter. Then we have flutter underscore icon. Flutter underscore what? Icon here. So make sure you spell this correctly. So icons, good. Then we go slash flutter underscore icons again. Okay, dot that. Okay, icons dot that. Let me use this. Okay. Then next will be our importation of our colors, since we're gonna use that one too. So we're gonna import our colors our colors file. So let me use package package here, and this package will reference will be referenced from our, probably, let me say, our sign up login. But let me refer to the folder here, and that one will be what our sign sign in underscore. No, I think our folder's name is called login. Yeah. Yeah, login. And then inside the login we have a screen, and for screen I'm gonna use here colors. Okay, perfect. Okay, or screen. Okay, well, let me see. I think package here, then I have login here, and login slash screen main.dat. No, so we only need the login. Then we have our how come we also have sign in. Okay, the sign in is actually inside the screen. Okay, I got it, inside the screen. Okay, so let's go here. What we'll do here is to first create our stateful widget here. So I'm gonna create that using the shortcut key stateful, and the stateful widget, our class will be called the, what's the name we give to the class? This one, sign in. Okay, sign in login screen. So sign in login, perfect. And I save this. Okay, so sign in login, correct. Okay, so our inside our builder, first I need to define some variables we'll be using in the code in no time. So I declare that before we even start. So I'm declaring the sign up screen, and then I'll also declare, let me see, sign up screen, and then I'll also declare a male and then female, this one, but I'll set one to true, so the male first. So let me say this one is what, sign up screen. Okay, oh no, sign up screen. Okay, good. So we have the sign up screen here, and for this sign up screen, it's only gonna be equal to true because it's a boolean. Okay, we'll later on use this in our code. Yeah, not useful now, but it will be useful later in our code. Yeah, setting the variables before we begin. Then we'll have another boolean. This boolean will always be active anytime you open the app. Yeah, it will defaultly select the male as a parameter. Then you can switch between whether female or male later in the app. Okay, then we have another boolean. This boolean will actually be is remember. Okay, this will also be used in no time. So remember, let me keep it, remember me. Okay, and this is equal to false. Okay, then I terminate this. Perfect. I terminate this. So all this will be actually above our override. Okay, here, let me keep it here. Perfect. Then for our return, we're gonna change this one to a scaffold instead of a container. Okay, so let's use the scaffold instead of a container, and inside the scaffold, we actually gonna look at how to apply our colors in our application. Okay, good. So in order to do that, I have to actually use this to design our application using our colors. So as I name it, it's called colors, right? So I call our colors, which I have already import. So I call the first one as colors, and this is our colors, right? Yeah, this one, colors, and this colors will be equal to or appended to our background. Okay, yeah, since we have background here, so this one is background color. Okay, this is what I want to use. Okay, so background color, so referring to this colors and then background. Okay, the next one will be our, should this be, I think I should keep this caps, but this have a keyword, this colors. I'm using a keyword here which I need to change. Let me change this to let me change this to gradient. Yes. I change this to I change this to gradient. Here. Good. And then I save it, and then I'm gonna call it here. I don't want to use the colors there. So we have colors, then we have the gradient. Let me rename this one. I rename this to let me rename this to colors, but I only use CL for this. Okay, good, because I don't want to conflict with the keyword colors inside our project. Okay, so I will now, okay, yeah, good, and then this, okay, perfect. Okay, so we've not used the icon still, but now we have this to be a gradient, and we have our class gradient, and then the color. Perfect. Okay, so now let's go to the next one. The next one, I need to change this one. Yeah, I'm just trying to see that everything is okay before we continue. So I will. So I have this background in code here, and I call using the file name that is this. So next is I'm gonna actually start with the body, and this body will actually have a stack, and this stack will have most of our code in here. So I have a stack here, and inside the stack we actually gonna have our children in here. Okay, so our children will be here. Children, and inside the children we're gonna have the position of our what of our design. So let me start with children. The first widget should be position. Okay, and this positioning we can have it's gonna make sense very soon. So let me say positioning. Okay, for the positioning we're gonna actually position the what, a container of the image, and also we're gonna also look at some text on our screen. So that is why we are using this widget in the stack. So we have the top. This is just what rendering our UI. The top, it's 0. The top of our image, like we're keeping the space in between 0. And then for the right side of our UI, that is the image we're about to add now, we also add in the spacing there to be 0. And then we also looking at the left side, yeah, okay, also 0 there. So okay, good. So that is the positioning of our top UI. Good. Then we'll actually we're gonna add gonna add a child here, and this child will actually contain our color and then the image. Good. So don't forget to bring this here. So let's have a child here, and this child will have a container. Okay, so this container will actually this container will actually have the design for our image, how it's gonna appear on top of our application. So I'm gonna design this here, and first we need to look at the pattern. Okay, the pattern for our image display. So pattern, we're gonna have the edge insert here, and for the edge insert we're gonna use the dot only, and for the dot only we'll look at the top of our pattern. Let's keep it at 90. Then we're gonna have the left, and for this left we actually gonna keep it at 20. Okay, then next will be our color. So color, we're gonna make use of one of our hex colors. So I call this color, and this color, let me use this one. Yeah, let me use this hex here. Okay, so the hex will be this, and then I'm gonna change the opacity to at least 0.8 something, or 0. Yeah, so let me check the opacity. Maybe, yeah, the opacity, let me use 0.85 is okay. 0.85. Then let's have another child, and this child will actually have a column, and this column will have some let me see, the column will actually have our cross-axis alignment. Yeah, since we want to use from the start, so we will use our cross-axis alignment. But we recommend you to check our previous videos to actually understand, especially when I was developing the BMI app. Yes, I actually explained the cross-axis and the max and min. Yeah, good. So I recommend you to also check that video out. Okay, so let's watch here. We have the cross-axis, and this cross-axis will be at the top. How I'm gonna position both at the top. So cross-axis, then cross-axis alignment dot start. Start means it's gonna begin at this side instead of that side. Okay, then we're gonna have children here, and these children will have the test, rich test. Yes, so the rich test is what is gonna display on top of our what this image. The image I'm gonna include here in a few minutes. So we're gonna have rich test here, and for this rich test, inside the rich test we'll have first, let me wrap this rich test. Okay, let me open this right. Inside our rich test, the test, we first gonna have our what? Our span here, test span. Okay, so here should start with a capital T. Yeah, so span means giving some space in between, and then span, and let me do this first. Okay, so for after our span incoming, let's have this here. Yeah, for the span, and for the span we're gonna actually have the styling of the text in here in this span. Okay, so so for the span, what are we gonna do here? Inside the span, one of the first span that will be at the top, we're gonna have the text that will display on our what? On our image, that is the first background. So text, and here we're gonna actually type in what it will display there. Okay, so yeah. Then after this, I want to style this text. Okay, so to style this, let me use this widget style, and then I call the text style tests. The text style. Okay, text style, and for no, not this one, text style. Yeah. Then for this, I'm actually gonna increase the font size of the text inside our text style. So font size should be 25, and then 25, and then here we also gonna add our letter spacing. Yeah, the space in between the text. So probably 2 is okay. Yeah, spacing 2 is okay. Then I'll add the color of our text. Okay, so this color, we're gonna make use of one of the internal colors. Yeah, probably let me use the yellow. Yes, so yellow, and then specifically I'm gonna use the yellow. The gradient is 700. You can choose any other gradient you like. Yeah, we have 900 and the rest. Okay, good. So after this, now we have our rich text here. What we are going to do after our rich text here is simply add another span, and this span will actually be in a child widget. So after our text style here, after our text style here, we actually gonna add children here, and this for this children, we also gonna have another span in here. Okay, no, not this one. Yes, this. Okay, so let me have this span. Okay, here. Good. So for this children widget, what are we gonna do? We're gonna actually repeat basically the same thing here. So this one, since we're gonna have two tests on our screen, so that is why I'm actually repeating this. So the same text span, right? This one, this text span will be inside here, but it will display a different text. Okay, so space, and then I paste it in here. So but the text in here will be different from the first one. So here we'll actually be adding we have a variable at the top which we'll be using now, and for our second span we'll have is sign in screen is equal to true. Yeah, this one, this boolean. So we started using a variable here, and this one is sign in. We're gonna have, if it's sign in, let's have this. If it's sign in is equal to what? True, as we have actually declared at the top. Then it's not equal to this display, but this display can be simply welcome back to Tech Now or something like that. So welcome back to TechNow TV. So let me put this one here. This can actually be back or whatever you want to put there. Then if you switch to the other one, so if your cursor is actually on a sign up, it should display this text. But what if we switch to the other one, the login? If we switch to the login, then we should also display this text, but this text can be whatever you want. Yeah, so this is just switching in between sign in and login. Yeah, so I can say here login to TechNow TV. Yeah, so whatever you wanna type in here depends on you. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. So you wanna actually display to the consumer or the users, so the text we want them to see, you just put it in here. So basically we're gonna keep the styling for the rich text the same. Okay, yeah, we're gonna keep it the same. And after our rich text, let me see here, I need to close this one. I need to close this, yes, and then it's a good practice to bring this. Let me see, I also have so I have the text style should be here. This is the text style. Then I should have the text span here. I need to have one for this and one for that as well. So the inner one, I should have another text span here. Then I give it this way. Perfect. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Dot colors. This should actually be, yeah, dot colors and then background that's equal to this. Okay, let me see whether I can do a quick fix here. Okay, so just declare class, and this should be this background. You sure? No. Okay, let me leave that. I'm gonna correct that later. So yeah, okay. Now let's watch here. Now what we're gonna do here is very simple. We're gonna actually add what? Our spacing in between our UIs. Okay, so the spacing here is pretty much simple, but I forget to actually I forgot to also include or import our our image here. Good. So in the positioning here, we're gonna include our image here. Let me check this well. Right, left. Okay, so right, left. Then we have the container. Okay. So here, I'm gonna include our image here. Okay, good. Since now we have already styled the text, let me now include the image here. Okay, so I'm gonna define the image height first before I include it. So let me see, 300. Then let me put the image in a decoration box. So decoration, then it's gonna be a box. Yeah. No, not here. Here rather. Box decoration. So yeah, this one. Then this box decoration, let me add, for the first property, I'm gonna add the image to it. Yeah, and this image will actually be our asset image. Okay, so since we've already included our asset, I only call the asset image here, this one, this. Okay, then inside here I include the link of the image, so this will be set as a string. So here then I call the images, that is the folder slash the name of the file, background.jpg. Perfect. Okay, so I need to actually put a comma here, and then I open this wide. Let me see whether everything is on point. So decoration, box decoration, we have the image, but for the image here I need to yeah, after the decoration, let me wrap this around our, no, wait, I do this. So we're gonna have image, then decoration image here, like this. This image, and this image will take this decoration. Yeah, this one, decoration image, and then I'll copy this. Yeah, I'll copy this and then paste it in here, and then oh, yeah. Okay, so now I have actually wrapped around our image the decoration box for the image itself. So now we actually need to, let me double check this decoration box decoration, and inside the box decoration we have image decoration image. Perfect. Then in there we have our image asset images background.jpg. Correct. Then from there we need to make sure it actually fit well, so it should actually fit well on our screen. So we need to use the fit dot box fit. Okay, so box fit box fit. So we use the box fit dot fill, means fill every place. Okay, yeah, here box fill dot fill. Okay, okay, so fill like this. Okay. Okay, so next let's look at, now we have actually included the image. The image here, we have the image decoration, then the box fit. Now we have let me see, from here we actually gonna have another container, and this container will wrap around our rich test. Okay. Let me see that one. So we have one here. Okay, so I'm talking about here. We're gonna have another what container to wrap around. So instead we have one container here. We're also gonna append this in a child, the padding area in a child. Okay, like this, and I'm gonna actually, and this one here. Okay, so we should have another ending what container here. So we actually gonna have two containers here. Yeah, after the positioning and all that. Yeah, so here we have another container up there, so I need to add one of these to it. Yeah, we should make. After this, we're gonna actually add I want to run this. Let me see, but yeah, everything is okay here. The color for that one I'll recheck again, but I want to actually my app isn't class. Did I include this here? Okay, so I just wanted to run and then see what we've done so far, but I will continue as it's still loading. It will take some time, so I'm gonna continue with our animation. So we want to actually add a simple effect to our project. So I'm gonna add that very soon. Then we'll finish the whole UI. Okay. So to begin with this, I will start by adding some space in here. So after our rate test, okay, after our rate test, I'm gonna add some small spacing in between our image and then the display of the actual forms. Okay, so to do that, I'm gonna use the size box, and this size box is only for space between our two widgets, right? Our two main widgets, and this will simply have a height. Yeah, and then the height should be 5 in between. Yeah, very simple, just 5. Then with after our size box, I'm gonna include another test here, and this test will actually also use our boolean we use up there. Yeah, the same boolean we use up there, this one, but this will be in a test insert instead of what, a text span. So this way I copy this, letter spacing, and then test here. Okay, up to here, test out, but I'll add this, and then I'll add this span. Let me copy it from here, this one, to the span. Yeah, okay. Then after our size box, since it's 2, we only left some 2 space in there. Then here I will only, instead to use the span, I have used the span up there, so I'll only use test here. Yes, and this will actually be for the sign up. The first one was for the sign up first display, and this one, when you switch in between, you should also see this right beneath this. Under this, we'll see this one like sign up. So we'll have sign up, and sign up is equal to continue. No, sign up to continue. So this one will be only a test displaying beneath our what, login to TechNow or something like that. Yeah, so the same thing, login to continue. So this will be a switch between the string. When this is active, this will show. When this is not active, this will show. Yeah, so we're gonna have login and sign up. So yeah, then we're gonna change this. We have we're gonna change the style here. I'm gonna use the spacing here. We want it to be smaller than the top display, and the spacing will be 1 or the above. So this one display, then this will also display beneath this, and when this displays, this will also display beneath that. Yes, with different colors and then spacing. Okay, so let me see where from this. So we'll take this one off. Okay, so after we are done with this, we'll actually look at another part. Let me say we're gonna look at the what? The positioning, that is positioning of what? Our animation display. Yeah, but we need to do that beneath this after our position here, and this is where our animation is going to go. Okay, so let's say, and we're going to use the animation widget. So we start with the animation. So animation position, animation position, yeah, animation position. And for this, we actually gonna look at the duration of our animation, and then we'll check the curves, how it's gonna bounce in, bounce out, and all that. So this is gonna be interesting. So animation positioning. Okay, I typed this wrongly. Animation positioning for our display. So no, sorry, this is animated position. Yes, instead of animation position, animated what? Position. Good. So for the animated positioning, we need to actually have the time at which the animation will take place, like how many milliseconds will it take. So we use the animation duration here. Normally we use a millisecond, or you can use a minute, but we want it to be very fast, so we're gonna use the millisecond of 700 here. Okay, and after the duration, we look at the curve, how it's gonna spin on the screen. So we have a lot of ways to actually display the animation, like Apple, the custom clip, but let's use the curve. So curves, it's gonna display in a curve way. So this one will display it in a curve, and then it will bounce. So we use the curve bounce animation. Okay, it will use the curve bound animation in our project. So curves, so we call the curves, then for the curves we call curve dot what bounce. We can use bounce in, bounce out, and then all that, but I wanted to use the bouncing out, so that it will be a bit smoother when we actually click on it. Then we have the top. For our top, what should we do before the effect happens? We should click on something, and we need to click on something that is, we need to click on our sign up screen, and if we click on a sign up screen, use this number of milliseconds to show the animation. So okay, perfect. Then after that, let's have a child here, and for this child we're gonna have the animated container for appended to this child. Okay, so here, animated what container, this one, since we want our login to show some kind of animation, that is why we are doing this. Yeah, so this is strictly for animation. Okay, so and for our animated container we also have a property of what duration, curve, and then we have the height for which it will actually display. So basically this will be here too. So and here will not be the top, this will display at the top, that will switch in between the tab, but this will actually be the height of which we are looking for it to actually animate to. So we are going to use a height of a height here, and this height will actually be 3, yeah, let's say, oh, I think this top we use 3, I mean this should be 330, and here let's use probably 380 here, 80 here, then we're gonna have this one to be 250. Okay, yeah, you can play around this, and then so that will be the height of our what is screen, when it is screen, the height. Then we also have to look at the padding of how the interface is going to look like. So we need to actually check the padding all around the sign up tab. So I use the edge insect, then this edge insect will be all around, so .all, and then I need to give it the value of 20, and now let me check our screen types using our media query. So to check the screen type in order to display well, I'll use the width and I'll use a media query. So this media query will help us check the screen easily. Okay, so media query dot off, and this will take a context, and this context can be appended to the size at which we actually want for most of the screens. So the width will actually be minus 40 of every screen. So any screen that we will use, it will actually be in the middle all around, and using this minus 40. Okay, so good. Then next we need to check the margin, and this margin also have an edge insect of symmetric, so dot symmetric, and this will be horizontal, so horizontal, and this will be a symmetric horizontal of 20, Then let's go next to our decoration for our border radius circle for the display of what of the sign in. So let's look here. For this decoration, we're actually gonna use the box widget. So box decoration, box decoration. Okay, let me use this one, box decoration. And this box decoration will actually have a simple color property in here. So one will be color, and this color we're gonna use white. Yeah, I'm gonna call big cup colors. So colors, then colors the white, right? So we use this white, and then I terminate this. Then we go to the next. Oh no, I need to use a comma instead. Then next we'll look at the border radius. Border radius will be having a round circle as I displayed at the beginning of the application. So we have a border radius, and this border radius will take a circular of about some digit numbers. We can play around that, but in this tutorial I'll use probably 20 or 15. It will be okay. So border radius, and this border radius will be dot circle, since we are looking at a circular figure here. So this will take like 15, or let me use 15. Okay, then next okay, so next, after our circular border radius, we're gonna look at the shadow of the box. Okay, so we use the box shadow, and this box shadow will actually take box shadow should take a box shadow widget. So box shadow widget, and this box shadow widget will actually have a property of color, and also how blur we want the radar to look like in our application. So box, we have the box shadow, and then we need to have the color, and this color property will actually need to have a specific color we want to use for this. So let me use colors dot black, and this black I want to add some opacity to it. So with opacity of let's say 0. Yeah, 0.3 is okay. Then let me add the I want to blur this, so I use the blur radius, and blur radius, let's say, is 15. Okay, then I need to use the spread radius, yes, to also be at least 5. So animation and just decoration, so these are just chemistries. So then I close this one here, terminate this, and then comma here. Okay, so this one here, box decoration. Okay, okay, good. So we have a box decoration ready, and we also have our image in there, and then we also have our animation, a part of our animation set. So we'll be adding more of the column to actually check our login tabs, that is the sign in side. And for the sign in side, we'll look at sign in and sign in with. Okay. Trying to run this for us to see. So here we're gonna actually add, since we have added the shadow and all that, we're gonna add a child to this. So after the box decoration, okay, we're gonna actually add another child here. So this child will have a single scroll child. So let's call the, not this one, single. Yeah, we're gonna use the single, no, let's use a single child scroll view. Yeah, single child scroll view. That one is good. Yeah, good for our application. Okay. So for the single child scroll view, we're gonna have a column inside. So I need to call another child, and then we have a column inside here, and this column will also have children in it, and these children will actually hold it's gonna hold the gesture detector and all that. So inside the children, let us have a row, and this row will have the gesture detector. So row, and I have this one here, and inside our row we simply gonna have what, the gesture detector. But before that, let me actually add the main axis alignment. Yes, just to keep the spacing evenly. Then main axis alignment. Then let's align it space around, yeah, instead to use the evenly. Okay, good. Then I now add another child widget, in which we'll be having the gesture inside. So I have a child widget here, and here we'll be having the gesture inside the child widget, the children rather. Okay, so gesture, so gesture detector, and this detector will have the on tap to switch between the tabs of our sign in. So we call the on tap here, and this on tap we'll call an anonymous function, and this inside our on tap we're gonna set the state. Yeah, set the state, so that anytime we have changes in there, it's gonna actually show us the right tab to display on the screen. So we use the is sign up screen here, and this is sign up screen. When we change the tabs, then it should set the is sign up to false, then it will show the login side. So I change this one to false. Okay, good. False, and then I end this one. Then after that, we need to actually, still inside the gesture, we need to have the column for what? The login. Okay, so still inside the gesture, we're gonna have the column for login. So let me have another child widget here, and this child widget will have the column, and this column will actually have the login and the styling for it. Good. So this, and for this no, for this column we'll have the login, so we're gonna use the test. So before the test, let me have the children, and inside the children we're gonna have the test widget. So let me start with the test, capital T, so test, and then test. And for the data here, we're gonna have the login as a string. So login as a string for this one, this test. So let me call this login. Perfect. And after the login, let me have the style for this test. So I need to add the style to this, and this will take a test style. Okay, and the test style, inside the test style, we're gonna have the font size. Okay, the font of this of this test, and the font size will be 16. And then we're gonna have the font weight for this as well. So font weight, and this font weight is font no, font weight, and this font weight will be bold. Yeah, let's use bold for this. And then next will be our color. So color, this color will actually have some more decision making here. So we're gonna say if it's not equal to its sign up screen, then we'll change it to the login. Okay, since we have the login here, we should make sure it's not actually it's not actually showing us the is sign up screen. So we said this means not. This is the logical operation using is is sign up screen. Good. And after that, let me call our hex colors. I think I commented one up there, but I'll recheck that again. So I call this color activate. Which one am I calling? Is it dot activate one? Activate. If you remember, we have the activate color inside our CL file. So color. Okay. Then CL dot activate color, and our this thing should change to test color 1. Yeah. Test color 1. Okay. Good. Then I need to actually end this one here. Okay, so try correcting the name to the one that is defined, or define the name. Yeah, CL. Okay, I will recheck this test. Let me see. Test star. Okay, we already have the test star here, so I'll take this one off. I will double check this later. So let's finish with this. Okay, so next will be our our is sign up container. So after our test here, and inside the same column. Okay, after our test, inside the same column and gesture, we're gonna have our if statement to check if it's not really what signed in. Okay, so now we said if it's not what, it's not sign what, sign screen, then render this what, container, then render this container for us, and this container will have this styling inside for us. So this is only to check our design. So we're gonna have the margin of the edge set dot what, dot only, and this one, this dot only, we're gonna have the top set to 3, and then we will have our height, and this height will actually be set to 2, and then we're gonna have width. Okay, and width will be set to 55. Then we have our color, and this color will actually be set to colors dot, and this color will be orange. Okay, perfect. So we are checking some logic here and then changing the what, the style. Perfect. Then next we're gonna have another what, gesture here, but this should be beneath the first gesture. Yeah, this should be beneath the first gesture, and this is actually the same. Yeah, the same as what, this login. So everything in the login will be copied and pasted down there. This up to where the gesture here. Okay, yeah, but inside the same row. Okay, so you copy everything up there, then you paste it, but here it's gonna be sign up instead of login. It's using the same what, the same design, but sign up. Okay, and for the sign up, basically everything the same because we want to use the same UI. Then after that, we're gonna actually check the screens, that is building sign-in section and sign-in section, using a row beneath this. Okay, yeah, so after the gestures, we're gonna have let's move out of the row instead. Let's move out of this row, and then we're gonna have this if to check. Let me use a small letter. This if, oh no, this if to check some conditions before we actually add a simple media query and all that. So if is sign up screen, then do what, build what, build our what, build sign up section for us. Sign up section. Okay, so build, no, I don't want to use this. Just build sign up section. Okay, good. Build sign up section, and this is gonna be a class we're about to create. So yeah, then we have the next one will be also no, good. So we are doing a double check here, and this is okay. So next after our animation, here, we're gonna actually have but still inside our stack, we're gonna actually have the build button here set to false, and then we have another positioning in here, and this positioning will actually be a repetition of what we've done at the top. Yes, and then we'll then create this class here. Okay, so after that, let me include this build button have container here. You'll soon understand why I'm doing this, don't worry. So we have the button, so the button have, so have here, and then we have container. So we have the container, and then we set this to what? False. Good. And then now we're gonna have what? The positioning, and this positioning is actually the same code we have actually coded above. So we can copy the whole thing there and paste it down here. Then we can just do some changes to it. Yeah, so we're gonna do the copying from the animated position beneath that. Yeah, only the positioning. Okay, so yeah, from here, yeah, let's be careful. Yeah, to here. Okay, so positioning, we're going down, down, down. After this, perfect. Then what we'll do is we're gonna do what? We're gonna paste what we just copied in here, but we'll be doing some small change. The top, which we might change. Yes, let me see. Instead to use this for the top, I'm gonna use a media query here, and this media query will help us align our code very well. Yeah, you see we use a media query somewhere, and then we want to repeat that here, and we actually gonna make sure the two of the interfaces fit very well. So let me start with this. The top will not use the 0. We have already used that at the top. So let us let media query handle the second screen. So media query dot off, and this dot off will have a context, and this context we need to call the size that for our column here. Gonna take out this, we don't need this, and then we don't need this image here as well. So here till here, this is for our image for the top one, but we don't need image here, so I clear it up to the child. up to the child, and up to the child. So we have this, but let me clear off this. Clear off this container. I'll take one of this out. Take one of this out. Okay. So after this, we're gonna have, we don't need this here too, but we have children. Children of test signing. So test is signing. Okay, you know what? I'm kind of getting myself confused here, so just gonna take all this off, and then we begin with the column, and then here we'll have children here, and then we're gonna have our test in there. Okay. So let me kind of begin the position here. We have the column here, and I'm gonna end this well, and then I'm gonna end the position side 2 as well. The position side also here, correct. Okay, so let's begin from here. So now we have the children, the child here column. Okay, after we have our media query at the top. So inside this one, we're gonna have children here. Okay, so for inside these children, we're actually gonna have our test widget in here, and this test widget will also check if is sign up screen. If it's sign up screen, and we look at using the OR operator, or if it's sign up screen, then we'll check this, or if it is what, sign up with, it should show that it is what, sign up. There should be a space here, sign up with, and then we have this. So this is checking that if it is a sign up screen, it should show one of this, either sign up or what, sign in on our tabs. Okay, perfect. Let me end this with a column. Okay, good. Next, we're gonna actually have a container inside our children as well. Okay, so then this will be a container. Okay, and inside the container, we're gonna actually have the margin, that is margin for our display, and this will be edge insert, and we're gonna do the only edge insert. So we look at the right, right 2, and then we'll look at the left, and left is 2, and we'll look at the top. So top, we'll actually using this top 27. Okay, perfect. Then after that, let's add a row to this. in this row we'll be having our material button, that's the on-press and all that. Okay, so here we'll be adding the Facebook icons. We'll be adding also the Instagram icon and all that. So let us do this in this row. So we said we have a row, and before we start with the row, let's use the child widget for this. Okay, then we will have the row in here, and this inside the row we will have the main axis align and main axis align. Then we'll center it in the middle, so center. Then we're gonna have the children of this row, and this row will have a material button. Okay, so material button that we're gonna use here, and this will have the on press, and this on press this on press will actually return an anonymous function, and let's leave this for here for now. Yes, and then I go down. Okay, so for this one, let's decorate this a bit. So we're gonna have the color, then colors dot blue. So let's use blue for this. Or black, no, let's use blue for this. Okay, then I'm gonna also have the text color for this one. Yeah, for this button we have the text color. Then we have the colors dot white. We're gonna use white for this. Oh no, white for this. And let's look at adding the icon to this. So adding the icon, this is gonna be really below the sign up page. So we need to add this icon here. That is, let's add the first one to be the Facebook icon. Okay, so let me begin with another child widget, and this child widget will have the icon widget also inside, and this will actually no, we don't need the icon data here. We're gonna use the material icons. Okay, so we have actually imported this inside, so we'll use the material community icons since we have. Okay, yeah, okay, then beneath the icon I'm gonna add the padding to this material button. So I'm gonna add a padding of edge insert, and this edge insert will be around all. So I use the all property, and then the value will be 16. Okay, so next we're gonna have the shape. I want the shape to be what? Circular. So I use the circular, not the circular avatar, but the circular border. Okay, so circular border, and this border what should I, yeah, let me just leave this blank. I think it's okay, since we have the size and all that. Let me leave this circular border with no value, and it's gonna use the padding and the sizes at the top, yeah, to fit in well. So after our first material button, we need to also have the one for Google Google icon. So let me have another one here inside the icon. Just a minute. Yeah, another one. So beneath this I have another icon here too, and this icon will not take Facebook. It will take instead of Facebook we're gonna use Google here. So Google, Google. Then we have Google Plus. Let me use Google Plus. No, yeah, this one. Okay, so it will take the same parameters, and then the next one will be, but here I want to change the color to red instead of blue. So here I'm gonna have the red here. Red accent is okay. Then I add another what? Material button. Okay. Let me add the last button. This one will be Instagram. Okay. So Instagram. Okay. And the color is okay. Yeah. You can leave the Instagram to have the same color. It's okay. Then next, I'm gonna build the class which I define at the top. Yeah, so this class build sign in section, this one. Yeah, build sign in section, and that one will be actually after our what? After our container. So let me see, row column. So let me see, this one should be inside our scaffold, but inside also our stack. Yeah, but we might step out of the what? We might step out from the position. What we're gonna do is to add that class, but it's gonna be in a form of a function, but it's gonna be inside a container. Yeah, so check. I wanna be very careful with the inside position, and then we have the column to do it, then inside the stack. Okay, so after our row, so here let's define a function here, but here should be inside a container. So container, and this is gonna be very useful. So our function is returning a container as well. So return another container inside the container. Good. And this this container will actually be we'll actually be adding the margin, and then this margin will also have the edge insect only for all, so only, and then we'll look at the top for this, the top, and then the top will be 20. Good. And then we're gonna have the child and a column here, and yeah, good. So child and a column here, and this child will actually take a column. Yeah, so column for this, and inside the column we'll be having children. Okay, so I open it wide. So for inside the children, this is where we're gonna add our what input text field, right? So we will use the build tests. We'll use the build test field here. Okay, so build test field, build text field. Okay, so build test field. So for our build test field, we actually gonna have the user input here, and then we also gonna have the other test field like email and all that. So we use build test field, and this one will have material icon inside this. Yeah, so we use the material community, right? We use the material community, then we can use account outline. Yeah, this one will look cool. So account outline. No, let me use this, and then underscore outline. Okay, so outline should be somewhere here. Good. Then we're gonna actually add a string here that will be the username. Okay, so username. Perfect. Then I terminate this. Okay, so that is for the first what, the first build test field, and then we have the username. But this username, depending on whether it's activated or not, so we're gonna append the false and then the false to it. Okay, and the next one we're gonna have the email. Yeah, so the email, we need to serialize it, so we're using the false and the true depending on checking the validation in Flutter. Okay, so same build, but this is gonna be for what, the email. Yeah, because the name will take any form, but this needs to validate it against the true email. Okay, so here will be assigned to true, and this one should be email, and here should be email as well. Yeah, like this, and we set it to false and then true. If we are accepting email, then it should follow the email word validation. Then we're gonna have the password for this. Now we have the email, or we're gonna have the password for this, and for this one let me have the password, and for the password here will be password, and then here will be the password. Here will set here to true. Okay, yeah, without password you can reset password to true. Now we're gonna have a simple padding to actually align our input field well for us. So let's have a padding here, and this padding will actually have a padding of edge insert. Okay, so padding will have let me see, a constant of edge insert. Okay, so edge insert only, and then we're gonna have the top. The top will be 10, and then we're gonna have the left should be 10 as well. Okay, that is for the padding, but let me see this. Okay, that is fine. Then I'll come here to, after the padding, I'm gonna have the gesture. So to add the gesture to this, I need to actually add the child row. So child, and for the child I'll add a row inside the child. Okay, so a row will be appended to this, and we will have this one row, and this row will have a children, but the children will only have a gesture detect in here just to set a state. So terminate this. Let me see. Okay, good. And then this will be equal to that. Okay, then the child, this child will have children, and this children will only be what, this children will only have children. These children will only have the gesture detector. Okay, good. So let me do that right quick. And the gesture detector will actually have let me see, gesture detector, and inside the gesture detector we're gonna have an on tap. Okay, so on tap, and this on tap will actually only display anonymous function here, and this anonymous function will set the state for us. So inside we'll have set state, and then set state. To set a state we're gonna have this, and then an anonymous function, not in here, oh no, here rather. Okay, and for this we'll always set the mail button to true, so to always be defaultly selected. So mail, oh no, mail, then we'll have mail is equal to true. Okay, mail is equal to true. Okay, perfect. Then I terminate this. All right, so Now for the male, we're gonna actually have the male being appended to this, another row being appended to this, and then okay. So now we're gonna actually add the submit button and also the terms and condition for every login interface. So let us add this using a container. So I'm gonna be a bit faster here. So this we're gonna add the container here. Okay, and for this container we're gonna add the width, and the width here will be 200, and then we're gonna add margin, and this margin will be having the edge insert, and this edge insert will be, we're gonna use the only edge insert, and we'll only look at the top. Yes, we only want to apply margin at the top, and this one will be 20. Then the next one will be we adding a child to this, and this child rich test. So rich test, the one we are going to actually define for the submit button. So for this one, we don't need a key here. We only need a test inside. But before that, let me align the test in the middle so that we can start with the span. So I call the test align, and this align, the test will be aligned in the center. Okay, so I use the center property. Then let us actually add the test span to this. So text, and then we're gonna add the test the test span to this. Okay, the test none. Let me use the test align, not vertical. I'll only use the test no. Let me use a test span here. Okay, span rather, yeah, so that the span can actually, display the test in the way we really want it to show. So we're gonna use test here, and this test will only write a string here, the string in here. This will say by pressing submit, okay, by pressing submit, let's use a single quote for the inner, and then double quote for the outer. We said you agree to our okay. Then we're gonna add the terms, but we want to add the terms. We want to push the terms below this. So let me first use the styling to style this one. So we're gonna use the test style here. Test style. We use the test style here, and for the test style, we'll actually look at only the color. Okay, before I go on with this, let's look here. Here we need to use the palette for this instead of the gradient first. So I've changed this to the palette. So we're gonna actually call this palette colors here, and this one will be we're gonna use the test color 2 here. Okay, for the palette here, I'm gonna use the test. No, let me spell this well. Palette, and I'll use the test color 2. Okay, so dot test what color 2 that we have up there. Then I'll have children here, and for this children, I'm only gonna call only gonna have another span in here, and this span will actually display our term and condition using the normal test, and this test we'll have our term and condition. But for these children, let me use test span. Okay, yeah, span, so that this will display beneath our main test. So I use the span instead of the normal test. Okay, no. Okay, then here we'll have the test beneath. So the test beneath will be terms and condition. Yeah, we are depicting the exact login. So our term and conditions, good, terms and conditions. Then we're gonna have our the star, and this star will be actually adding the test star here, test star. And this test star will also add only the color. Okay, so color in here, and then we'll have the colors. We're gonna use, no, let me use capital, because we're gonna call color orange. So colors dot orange. Okay, so perfect. Next we finish with the styling for the terms and condition. So what we'll do is to let me see this. We don't need this here. So let me finish. No, we also do not. Oh yeah, let me see. I need to actually end one of the. So we have this for that, this for that, this for one up. Okay, the children, and this for the rich test, and this for the container. The first container, yeah, this is for the internal container. So I need to add one more to this, and this is container for the container, and then I need to add, this is for the container, I need to add another one for the main container up there. But before that, let me see, rich test container, then we need to have one for the span up there, and that one should be a square bracket, yeah, like this. Then the square bracket, then I need to have one for one like this, then I end this. Okay, so let me check this again. Yeah, so this is for the build sign up section. So I have ended that part here, build sign up section. I have ended that part. So for the build sign up section, we are done with that side. So now let's look at the test button that we're gonna use for the build test button, which I have already declared at the top. So we have finished one. Let me add the last test button here, then we move on. So the test button for the build test button, let me use this build, no, not the build contest. I use this build tests, yeah, build tests button, yeah. Then this is going to be, like build tests button. Okay, nope, it's not gonna receive any of this. So for the build test button, we're gonna actually look at the color and some test button star form and all that in here. So what I'll do is to actually add icon data here, yeah, just to display the icon. So icon data, okay, icon data, and then I'll have the icon. After the icon, I'm gonna have a string title. Okay, so string, oh no, string title, no, string title. Then I'm gonna have the color then background. Okay, so background. Okay, good. That is for our test button. Okay, so this is actually the parameters for our test button, and this is more or less like a function. Yeah, so and this is actually gonna perform a very unique task for us. So in here we're gonna actually return a test button inside this test button build test button. Okay, so we're gonna return what return a test button here, and this test button, let me see, this test button will have an onPress, but this onPress, it is gonna be an anonymous onPress. Okay, so I'll clear all this. I'll clear everything in here, and then no, wait, I need to be sure I'm getting everything right. Okay, so here what I'll do is for the onPress, I'll only leave it open with nothing. So, and then I will actually move to the next one. So for the test button inside, what we'll do is let me end this. This is a test button, so I end this. So for the onPress, we're gonna have the star for this, and the star will have the test button star. Okay, test button star. Okay, so this one will be dot start from. Okay, so test button, and we're gonna start from using, good. So here is actually gonna be a button on the form, and this is actually gonna show something like a circular button on the form, which will look actually nice using some icon in there. Yeah, just to, you know, when you switch in between, you're gonna see this icon beneath the forms, and that will really look cool. So let me style this then. So we're gonna say the side of the button, the sides will actually be border sides. Okay, so the border size, we're gonna have the width to be only one of the round button we are actually displaying. Then we'll have a color. The color we want to use color. Okay, colors dot gray. Okay, good. Color dot gray. Actually, we display that to be gray, and then we'll have a minimum size. Yeah, how big it's gonna be like. So the minimum size, then we have a size of probably the size will have a width of let's say 145. Then we have a height of 40. Okay, good, perfect. Then after that, we want to also give it a shape, how the shape will look like. And for the shape, we want to use the rounded rectangle border. Okay, so we start with a capital rounded rectangle border. So we use this one, rounded rectangle border, and inside the rounded rectangle border we actually gonna have the border radius. Okay, so border radius, and for the border radius we'll have border radius. Okay, and for the border radius we're gonna use the circular because we want the text to actually look round, the button to actually look round, not the text. Okay, so round button showing is just a nice design that is gonna display on our sign-in form. Okay, so 20 there, and then let me have a special color for that, and that will be the primary color. And this one we'll use the colors dot let's say white. So good. So no, white. Good. So now, oh, this is wrong. Yeah, correct. Then after the primary color we should have background color. Okay, background color for the button, right? So background color, then we'll have background color, then I'll terminate this, and background this background color, background color, and then we are referring to the one inside the palette function. So let me use the palette. Yeah, so palette dot background. Yeah, we are using this one. Yeah, so I want to refer to this. Okay, so yeah, good. So this one works fine. Then let's look at adding a row, and this row is gonna be the icon on the nice rounded button. Okay, so the icon, to add the icon we need to add the row on top of the round button so that it will look good. So one row, and that row inside will actually take the children, and these children will have the icon inside the button, so it will be on top of the round button. Okay, then first I call the icon here, and for the icon it will also take parameter of what icon. Perfect. Icon like this. Okay, and for the icon, let me check this one well. Okay, good. And for the after the icon, now let me add the size. Yeah, size box, so that it will give a space in between the icon and then the title on it, right? Okay, so size box. Yeah, we always use this for sizes. Yeah, just to leave some space in between. Okay, so we use the width at least 5 is okay. Yeah, then after the size box we will only add the text, just the test title. Yeah, so test title, then we'll add what title, test title. Okay, good. And then we end this just like this. title, the title undefined. Test title, title undefined. What will be the create getter variable? Okay, I think for this title, we need to append a text to it, but not necessarily. But let me see. Just that title, then we'll add a string. I will correct this title soon, but let's leave it like that. Let me check one or two stuff. We're gonna correct this. Do we need this? So we have row. After the row, we have the test button, and after the test button, we don't need this. The test button, we need to actually terminate it like this. We having some errors here. Build button have okay, we're not yet done with that one. Okay, so we're gonna do that one. Yeah, we're definitely gonna do that. Okay, I got it. So now we actually ended this test title. We'll get back to it, but now let me finish the rest of the code, then okay, so now we are done with the rounded button, and then that looks good. Now we're gonna tackle the build button have container, which we have set to true at the top. So we're gonna actually wrap this in a widget, and we will call this one. Yeah, now that we're gonna give it functionality. So widget, and this widget will be a boolean. No, a bool, and this bool will show shadow, show a shadow. Show shadow instead. Yes, show shadow. Okay, and we actually gonna have some animation in here as we did at the top. Yeah, so I think we're gonna repeat this animation here, which we already have a similar thing at the top. So what I'll do is we have the same animation at the top. Here we are only repeating that animation here inside this widget. So we're gonna actually copy that same animation, and then so we copy that animation, and then yeah, so So we only have to copy the animation to, I'm actually checking animation. Okay, yeah, this side. This mm, no, it looks a bit, it might confuse. Recopying and pasting, we need to do a lot of changes. So what I'll do is I'll quickly write this, and then instead to copy the same from the top, let me quickly write this. Then so for this shadow, we're gonna return animation, yeah, animation position here, and this animation position inside we actually gonna have for the animation position, we actually gonna have inside, we're gonna have the duration, and the duration will be the time at which the animation is gonna take. So we say normally we use the milliwatt, the milliseconds, and that is what 700. Then we also will look at the curves for the animation. That is how the animation will move. That is what we call the curves, right? So we have moving in a curve way, and then it's gonna bounce. So we have curves dot what dot bounce, and this bounce, we have the bounce in out. Yeah, this looks cool, so we'll use that. Then for the top, we're gonna actually have is what a sign in to show, yeah, when this changes. So it's sign in, and we say we have this short operators here is sign in, and the size will be at least 535 will be okay for us, and then 535 against the height of 430 is okay. 430 is okay. Okay, yeah, so make sure you bring semicolon here, or semicolon. Then we have the right side. We're gonna the right side should be 0. Yeah, we don't really care about the right side. The left side should also be 0. We don't really care about that. So then let's add a child, and this child will actually have a center, and this center will actually also contain another child, and this child let me end this well. This child will actually have also have a center. Okay, we have the center already, so another child with a container, and this container, and with this container we actually gonna have the height in here. So height will be here and the height will be 90. Then after the height, we want to also have the width in here, and this width will also be 90. And after this, we're gonna have a padding, and this padding will be what? Having the edge insert dot all, so around it. Okay, then the value will be what? 15. Good. No, 15. And for the next one will be what? The decoration, and this decoration will actually take the box what? The box decoration. Okay, so for the box decoration, we'll actually have the color and the border in here. Okay, so first, box decoration, we will start with the color, and the color will be colors dot white. Okay, dot white. And so let me bring this down. Okay, good. Then for after the colors, let's have the border radius, and for the border radius, we actually gonna have border radius dot circle. Okay, so no, border radius, yeah, this one. Then we'll add a circle to it. Border radius circle, no, circular rather, border radius. Oh, this is should be dot, yeah, dot circular. And for the circular, we're gonna have 50 here. Good. And then the next one will actually be the box shadow. Okay, box shadow. And this box shadow, we're gonna have a simple if inside this box shadow, and this box shadow will actually have an if to check a simple what? A simple operation here. So as the parameter we pass in at the top was what? The show shadow. So we will only show shadow when the box shadow actually have something to show us. Okay, so box shadow, and this this will only show us based on the shadow, and this will take the colors dot let's use black, and this black with some opacity. Okay, so this opacity will be simply .3. Okay, then we're gonna end it. Then after that, we will have the what? The spread radius. So this spread radius will actually be 1.5, and then we're gonna actually add the blur radius. Okay, so blur radius, blur radius, and this blur will be 10. Okay, let me end this here. Good. So we are actually done with this what? Build button what? Half container. Good, which we declare at the top as true, and then we pass in a parameter, and this parameter is a boolean. So show this shadow when this if actually happens. Okay, so what if we don't want to show this shadow? If we don't want to show this shadow, then we got to do something. Okay, we got to do something that is child, not shadow. Yeah, if there's no shadow, not shadow. Not shadow. Okay, good. Excellent. Then if after this, then we also have to check if there's no shadow. Then we have to also check another condition here. Okay, so let me say if not shadow or child not shadow, then we should look at printing another container or displaying another container. Okay, oh, no, not constraint. Oh, before, yeah. Container. Ooh, let me check. Okay, so let me use this operator in front of it. So if not this, let's use this operator container, and this container will actually also have another decoration for us. So if no shadow, then we need to actually display this container rather. Okay, so container, let's look at the decoration, and we have a box decoration, and this box decoration will actually have a gradient. Okay, and this gradient will be the linear gradient, and okay, so for the linear gradient, we also have to add some properties in here for the linear gradient. Okay, so for the linear gradient, we'll be looking at colors in here, colors, and then the beginning and the end. Okay, so let's look at colors for the gradient, and here we'll have colors dot orange. Let's use orange here, and then we can add probably the different kind of orange, but I don't really care about that now. So colors dot red. Okay, good. So red here. Then next we're gonna add the beginning of this container, that is align top right. So the beginning we want to do the align top left. Okay, so we're gonna align it top left, and for the end we're gonna actually do the border and no, let's also do align. Then this align will align the bottom right. Okay, so yeah, bottom right, yes, bottom right here. Then after the bottom right, we need to actually terminate this, so we don't need this one here. Okay, perfect. All right, so we are done with the gradient. Let me see this carefully. For the shadow, there's no comma here, yes, and then after this end we need to add the border radius for this container. Okay, so border radius here, we're gonna look at the border radius, and this radius will be a circular. Okay, so dot circular, and it will be 30. Okay, then we go to the box shadow. This box shadow will also be probably just like the first one, and then we're gonna have inside this, we'll have the box shadow here. Okay, so box shadow. Then for this box shadow, we're gonna have the color just like what we had at the top. Yeah, this one. But this will change the parameters. Let's say here 1 and here will be what, 2. Okay, then but here we're gonna add the offset to it. By the top we left the offset there, so we say offset, and we will add offset of 0 and 1. Yeah, that is okay. Good. So what we'll do here is do I need to add something? No, this one needs to go off. Okay, so like this, and then so we have the decoration. So after the decoration, we're gonna have the box decoration. We're gonna have a child, and this child will be appended to a simple icon. So this one, we're gonna have the icon, and this icon will actually this icon will actually have the arrow forward icon, yeah, for that design. Okay, so icon, then we'll have yeah, icon, then let me call the yeah, the child icon. Okay, icon, then we're gonna have, no, this we need to have this icons dot arrow. Let's use the arrow forward. Okay, yeah, arrow forward, this one is okay. Then we want to give it a comma, then we'll look at the colors, and for this colors, let's watch here. This color, we're gonna give it colors colors dot white. Okay, good. So we are done with the icons, and then we actually container. We have one container here. Okay, container here, and then we have one container here. But let's add, yeah, so let's append all this to a center object here, like this. And then I'll bring yeah, okay, good. So now we have this animation set for our other tab. Yes, and then we have actually decorated the icon really well. So we're gonna have our last widget, and that will actually be the build test field for us. So this one will be our last widget, and this widget will actually have oh no, the build test field, and this build test field will actually also have the icons and all that. Okay, no shadow. Here, no shadow. Here, no shadow. So widget build test field. Okay, so build test field. Our first property, we're gonna be the icon. We're gonna have icon data here. After icon data, that is icon, then we will have a string. It's password. Yeah, since we're checking for the password up there, and we have who is email. Okay, so it's email, and then after that we actually gonna, okay, so let's use this as the parameter. Yeah, as the parameter for this. So we actually passing in all this parameter for the build text field. Okay, then now let's begin with the function itself. So here, since we have uh, all these what input fields and parameters, we're gonna actually assign this same what, not animation, but we're gonna return the padding and all the design for the password, and also check the input type, the email and all that. Good. So this will do that for us. So first, let me return the what, the padding. Yeah, so I'm returning the padding, and this padding will wrap the whole show. Okay, padding here, padding will have, you know, let's do constant edge for everything around it. So let's use the dot only, and for the only the button, and this button will be having a padding of 8.0. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. So after this, we're gonna have a child, and this child will only return the text field. Yeah, it will return the text field, and this text field will actually obscure the password in here. So no, we don't need this here. The text field, inside the text field, we're gonna have the obscure text, and obscure text will actually be appended with its password, and it will check the password for us. Then we'll check the keyboard type. Which keyboard type do we want to use for the email? So we'll call is email. So it will give us a keyboard with email. Then let's do this check here. So test input field. Then so let's have, yeah, our test input type here, and this test input type will be appended to our email address. So our email address, and this will actually also have test input. Yeah, test input type. But for, okay, so email test input type for that as well. So test input type, and then we're gonna enter this one here. Okay, so our test input type, I think that needs to be that needs to be a test. So instead to leave it like this, let's append it to a test. Okay, yeah, so it's gonna be a test. And then for this one, for the test input, we're gonna also decorate the input for us. So to decorate the input, we actually have to use the decoration, and then we call the input decoration here. So input decoration. Then for this input decoration, let me see, probably we're gonna have an icon for this decoration. Okay, so an icon for this decoration, we have to prefix the icon. So we use the prefix, let's use prefix icon, yeah, this one rather. Then we call the icon, and this icon will actually have two parameters in here. First will be first will be icon, okay, and for icon, second will be the color. Then the color will refer to the color inside a palette. So palette dot icon. So we have the icon color inside this one. Okay. Then we end the icon side here. Now we're gonna add borders to it. So we actually enable the border, and the border will have the outline input border. Okay, so outline input border. Then for the outline input border, it's gonna take this properties, and properties will be border side, the border side. Okay, and the border side will also take border side again, and border side will take the parameters. We have the color, and we'll use the palette, palette that we have, and this will be the text color. Okay. So text color, we use the text color one, and then the next will be the border radius. Okay, so border radius, let's start the border radius, and this border radius will be around all. So all, and then we'll give it radius, but we want to use the circular one. So circular around everything, it will be 35. It will be okay for us. 35, that's 0. Okay. So after the outline input border, we're gonna have a focus border. Yeah, this focus border will help it. Oh no, instead of focus, focus border outline. Okay, so outline, should we use the outline border? Yeah, let's use this one. And for the outline border, it's gonna have similar stuff, similar input, and after that, after the outline, let's add content padding to this. Okay, so the content padding, and this content padding will look at the edge. The edge should be actually be all around, and this will put a value of 10. Yeah, that is okay. Then we want to add the hint, And this one, we'll look at the hint test only for this project, hint test. Then we go for the hint test. Yeah. Then let's look at the hint style. Yeah, just a small style for the hint. So hint style, and hint style will take in the text style. The text style, and for the text style, we're gonna have simply the font, not the font family, but the font size. Font size, and the font size will be 14. Then we have the color, and this color will take our palette, our colors. Okay, so palette dot, let's use the text color one for this. Okay. Okay. All right, so we are almost done. We're gonna look at the errors. We'll fix the errors, then we will run the code to see what we have done so far. Okay, so I have the input, the creation test field. Here. Okay, so in this this one is to which one? So now we need to now check the closing tags well. Okay, we have let me check this one. I think does this needs to go off, or we need to have extra ones here? Okay, good. So what's here? Animation. This title. Label instead? No. Okay. Let me just comment this. Let me comment the whole thing. Yes, okay. Because the title, maybe we can simply ignore that one, and then this. Not true. So now we have build test field. Oh no. Build test field. Then we have another build here. Yeah, this needs to be correct. Oh no. Build test field. Okay, then we have material. Okay, so let me double check this once, then we look. So it's actually the build test area, which we are seeing that error, but let's double check with that. Then we see, but the build tests is actually build test. Let's see, maybe we did just a small mistake, and that can also let me check. Build tests. Text button, then after the text button, okay, forget style. Then we have row container, then we have this container. Okay, so this container, and we have the user build material. We have the pattern, we have the guest detector, the row. So it's in defined for the type. Yeah, so looking at the error, I think it's maybe it's a tax issue. Yeah, because everything is actually perfect. So I think it's a tag issue, which you need to double check well. For example, this let me see, this animation, this animation side is to have a closing tag here. Perfect. Okay, so it's actually just a single closing tag. Yeah, wow. Yeah, that is how coding is. Sometimes you need to pay attention to the closing tag very well. Okay, so now I save the project and then I run. We actually gonna run this. Still not working. Okay, I'll go here and then I click on the run here. I also release this title. Okay. Let me see. Just trying to add just a normal title after this, but let's ignore this and then let it finish running. Debugging. So now here for the start, I changed the name to cl.dat. Yeah, first it was called colors, but I didn't want to conflict it with the keywords, so I changed the name to cl. And then here it was gradient, but according to the color palette, you need to actually use palette to refer to the colors here. So you need to actually refer that and import that very well. So I import it in here and then I have been using the palette in the code almost everywhere using the hex code. So you can see the palette. I've been using palette in here for almost all the colors. So these are hex words. These are hex code used inside the word, inside our app. So we have the main, and this main this is actually using the class in here. Okay, the class in here, and then we have we actually have this referring back in there. And today we did not use the my app, but we actually use the sign in login, and then we extend it here, in here, that here, and make sure here the assets, okay, your assets fall in line with this. Use material that it should fall in line here, and then this should have a 2 space ahead here. And then I actually for no reason I was using the latest SDK, but it was actually giving some kind of non-safe. So if you use the Flutter old SDK, it actually have the good way of running with the non-safety now. So pay attention to this as well. Okay, all right, so I'll be adding the source code beneath this video, so make sure you also check the source code if you were not able to follow fully along. Okay, so let's look at the project. Perfect. So now we have the login here, and then we have what, the sign up here. Okay, so you see the animation, and then we have the buttons here. So we use the rounded word circular to actually code this one, and then we have the background, and then we have this color here. So this is actually, you can put the username here. Let's fuse, and then you can put your password here. Yes, yeah, you can actually select this and that. Okay, so this will not actually add any form to it, but you can go ahead and add the forms to that. Then we have the sign up, and this sign up you can actually add your email in here. Yeah, this is just for test, so you can add proper email. Yeah, and then the name, and you can add a password. So you can go ahead and then customize it, add more things. Since we select the mail to be default, you can see, yeah, you can go ahead and push this one and align it very well. Then this will be a very cool login for your application. Okay, so without much doing, I'm gonna sign out, and then we will meet you in the next video. Peace. I'm out.